Indexing array is used quite often in LabVIEW. It can be found under Array and Index Array. What this does is it'll take in an array and it'll output one of the elements or subarray depending on the index found here. So here's a little example of it. If I run this code, our element is still 0, but if I index it to, let's say, our second element, it'll now be the number 2. And arrays always start at 0, so 0, 1, 2. So if I was to change element 2 to a 5 and run this code, our 5 appears. So here's another little example, and this time I'm just pulling out the element and I'm not pulling out the subarray. So when I plugged in this two-dimensional array, 2 lines appeared right away. So as we can see, we have our row and our column. So I want to be in row 1 and column 1, which should be this 4. I hit run, this 4 appeared. If I want to move over a column to column 2, now our 5 appeared. So on this last little example, I have the same two-dimensional array, but this time I want the actual subarray. And what I had to do was I deleted the element I just copied and pasted this little group down, and I right-clicked and created the indicator. If you had this connected, see how it says disabled here? So this is a feature that you may or may not need depending on if you want a subarray or not. So if I grab this subarray now and just so if I grab this subarray and I want index 1, I hit run, now we got our index 1. And to show, we can do 6, 7, 8. I want the second index, hit run, and 6, 7, 8, and I want index 0. So it breaks up a two-dimensional array into its specific parts, but do remember to disconnect this line. So this can be used or not. See, so if I right-click and go to create a control on this, see, the element's busted. It doesn't know what to do because now I have the column index.
I forgot to mention in the video, but if you want the column instead of the row, all you need to do is connect that bottom wire and then delete the top wire to get the column. It functions similarly to the row with the indexing, but instead you just grab the column.
Same can be said with this one. Even though it has the element, if I now remove this line, it breaks this line because this is looking for an element, so it needs the 2 points. Another thing you can do is if you want multiple elements out of an array, so if we go back to our first example, you can just drag this down. You can add as many individual elements as you need. So if I also wanted to grab, let's just put a constant for this particular, I wanted to grab element 2, and we'll create a indicator, so this element. I know the labels are a little off, but like I said, I want to make a quick video. So we'll grab element 2 and we'll grab element 0, and I'll change the 0 to 7. So now this should be, the top one should be R7, and our element 3 here should be R5. And if we run this, we can see that. So I took 2 elements for this array, and I can take as many as I want depending on the size of the array. So hope this is helpful, and stay tuned for more.